Probability, a theoretical approach. Probability, as we have learnt in the previous grades, tells us about the possibility of the occurrence of any event. For example, while tossing a coin, what is the mathematical possibility that the coin would show a head or a tail? While playing a board game, what is the probability that the die would show a 4 and we would win the game? If you close your eyes and choose a number between 1 and 10, what is the probability that the number is an odd number? As we have learnt, probability can be defined as PE is equal to number of outcomes favorable to the event divided by the number of possible outcomes of the experiment, where we assume that all the outcomes of the experiment are equally likely. This definition of probability was given by Pierre-Simon Laplace in 1795. Probability of getting ahead on tossing a coin is given by the number of favorable outcomes by the total number of outcomes, which is equal to 1 by 2. Probability of getting a 4 on throwing a die is again given by the number of favorable outcomes by the total number of outcomes, which is equal to 1 by 6. The probability of choosing an odd number from the first 10 natural numbers is given by number of favorable outcomes by the total number of outcomes equal to 5 by 10 equal to half.
This method of finding the probability, in which we find the ratio of the number of the outcomes favorable to the event to the total number of equally likely outcomes, is known as the classical theory of probability. We have also learnt earlier how to find the probability on the basis of observations and collected data. This is called the statistical approach of probability. Both these theories have some drawbacks. These are as follows. A. These theories cannot be used in those experiments which have an infinite number of outcomes. B. In the classical theory, we assume all the outcomes to be equally likely, that is, when we have no reason to believe that one is more likely to occur than the other. That is, we assume that all the outcomes have equal chance or probability to occur. Thus, to define probability, we used equally likely or equally probable outcomes. This is not logically correct. So, another theory of probability was developed by the Russian mathematician A.N. Kolmogorov. In 1933, he published the book The Foundations of the Theory of Probability, laying the modern axiomatic foundations of probability theory. In this chapter, we will study about this approach called the axiomatic approach to probability.